Hello, students. Let us start with this next topic in excretion, which is with reference to cockroach. The excretory as well as osmoregulatory structures in cockroach is called as, or they are called as, Malpighian tubules. So this is MALPI, Malpighian tubules. In these Malpighian tubules, they are slightly different, or they are quite different from the nephridia. Different in origin. When we say origin, it means evolutionary origin. They are different in origin, evolutionary origin from nephridia. And these are outpocketings in alimentary canal. So in the alimentary canal, this is the midgut. And this is the hindgut. So in between the junction of midgut and hindgut, we will find several such yellowish colored elongated structures. These are called as Malpighian tubules. So this is hindgut, and this is, all these are Malpighian tubules. So their function is that they are involved both in excretion and osmoregulation. And where are they located? They are located between or at the junction of midgut and hindgut. So midgut ends over here, hindgut begins over here. In this, between these two junctions, lot of yellowish color structures, which we just mentioned briefly when we talked about digestive system. So there these are present. There are about approximately 200 of them. And these are blind ended and very thin tubes. Blind ended, very thin tubes. So the tube is somewhat like this. If you take a section over here, you will see something like this. Naturally, a circular or little bit oval structure, and here you will see a lot of cells. But at this end, These are extensions of the membrane which are called as microvilli. So in light microscope you can see something like this. It looks like a brush. All of them will have a nucleus. This is lumen, that means space, and these are all the cells, and these cells contain microvilli. That means if this is a cell, this is the basement membrane, this is the nucleus, this is the brush border. You can see that the surface area is more elaborate. That means as compared to the, if this was a normal cell, and compared to that, if you have a brush border, if the cell has a brush border, then its surface area is vastly increased. This is just a modified, highly adapted membrane. Plasma membrane itself is folded several times. So that is how all these cells increase present over here, which will give us an indication that okay, these are types of cells that are doing a lot of absorption. So that is what they are doing. So towards this area, you see somewhere over here, they are absorbing different kinds of wastes. The nitrogen based whatever content is there, that is being absorbed, and from where, from this is called as hemocoel, or this hemocoel, which is a space which is present in most arthropods. We are talking about cockroach, so in insects they are all filled with a space called as hemocoel, and this is containing a fluid which is called as hemolymph. Okay, this can also be also be spelt without the a, just as HEMOLYMPH. That's just as well. So from this hemolymph, there are a lot of wastes are there. One of the waste is called as potassium urate. So this potassium urate also enters Malpighian tubules. So along with potassium urate, it also combined with water and carbon dioxide. So water and carbon dioxide also enter inside. Water and carbon dioxide, they enter inside, and this will combine to form carbonic acid. As usually unstable, the proton will go away, and there is a bicarbonate ion over here. That bicarbonate ion will do a displacement and react with potassium urate to form uric acid or urate. So this forms urate, then it forms potassium bicarbonate, KHCO3. Okay, so it will form KHCO3. So this H2O CO2 has formed H2CO3 or carbonic acid, and that is dissociated to form bicarbonate ion. The bicarbonate ion combines with potassium over here to form potassium bicarbonate. It's a buffering reaction that takes place, and this is a crystal. Uric acid crystals are developed, and these crystals will slowly come out from here, and What is this? This part is midgut. And what is this? This part is hindgut. So it will go from here into the hindgut, that means into the ileum in the rectum. And as it goes down, as it goes along, that the water which is there, as it moves along, whatever water is there, even if it is in the rectum, that gets reabsorbed. Potassium bicarbonate exits from here itself. So for all these different types of salts, there are very specific channels present over here. There are aquaporins in some cases, there are salt channels over here, specific channels. So all these channels help to reabsorb this. All these are functions of the membrane. And this salt which is there is slowly going to increase it in its concentration, go out and deposit outside. So why the cockroach needs to reabsorb water and KHCO3? Because this is important for the cockroach. Potassium is always important for any organism, therefore it has to reabsorb it back. Similarly, for cockroach, water is not freely available. It must learn to conserve the water, and this it does so by evolution, or in terms of evolution it has made the system very efficient so that it can do this process of reabsorption. And when the uric acid crystals are developed, they are very small, like a paste like structure which does not require water. So we can say that cockroach is example of uricotelic in terms of, if you want to classify the animal in terms of its excretory product, we say that it is uricotelic in its nature. So this is a very simple and short description of Malpighian tubules. Remember that they are not really in any way similar to a protonephridium or a metanephridium. That means you cannot compare it with either earthworm structure or other invertebrate steer structure. This is different in terms of its origin. They are connected to the alimentary canal. And this is how Malpighian bodies or Malpighian tubules in cockroach function. So with that, this is Professor Ravindranath signing off. Thank you.